Continuing on with the TMCC Library Open Genealogy Lab Outstanding Guest Speaker Series, today we are pleased to present Davina Littman and Janisu Reigel. Davina and Janisu are the founders of the National Society of Descendants of American Farmers, also known as the NSDOAF. On February 17, 2019, 6 friends met for lunch at the California Pizza in the Woodlands, Texas. One suggested that they start a new society to help feed children in school. Janisu Reigel mentioned that her sister Davina and herself had been talking about starting a farmer society for 3 years. Davina could not believe that American farmers were not being honored, especially when they are so vital to our country. She recognized that they are frequently underappreciated. She had a vision to develop a society that would honor American farmers of the past, present, and future. Each person agreed that farmers was a good idea, and they all agreed that Janisu had to be the president. 10 days later, Janisu had the EIN number and started a Facebook group. With that, word about the new society spread, and within 2 short years, the society had over 1,000 members from all over the U.S. Davina and Janisu are 24/7 with NSDOAF and have grown the society to over 1,398 adult members and 58 youth members. The society has been recognized during the memorial ceremony of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C., while placing a wreath honoring our farmer president, Thomas Jefferson. In 2023 was the first year our youth society also placed a wreath honoring former President Thomas Jefferson. This presentation is done annually by the Sons of the American Revolution in Washington, D.C. So without further ado, I would like to offer a warm virtual welcome to Davina and Janisu.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. What a pleasure it is to be with all of you today. I'd like to take a moment, please, to introduce to you Renee Hamilton is one of our vice presidents. She is a co-director of Military Tribute, and she is the Tennessee ambassador. Renee will be doing the PowerPoint for me. She will also give you a little snippet on the military and on Red. And then our magnificent Toastmaster is Glenn Martin. He's not just a Toastmaster. He is our master of ceremonies on many of our Zooms, and he is the national co-director of the Military Tribute. And I thank them both for joining us to help you see more of a part of our society. As Suzanne said, we started this society in 2019. And Davina, you want to tell a little bit? Go ahead.
I have a quick summary. This is a happy society, and we love honoring hardworking, smart, innovative, important American farmers who, Suzanne said, have been forgotten. And our ancestors, our present-day farmers, and our future farmers, in the fact that we give agricultural scholarships. So the wonderful world of farming agriculture really gives us unlimited possibilities, and it really is a joy watching this society grow. And the details, we are 4 years old, we're still new, and we're still unknown. People just haven't heard about us, so we really appreciate being here. Thank you so much. Janisu and I are sisters. We belong to 26 societies, hereditary societies. And as was said by Suzanne, in 2016, we said, this will be the year somebody will honor American farmers. It didn't happen. 2017, we said the same thing. With all these new societies starting, American farmers are important. They're so American, they have to be honored. And it didn't happen. In 2018, the same thing. And then in 2019, it happened. And we have been going full steam ever since.
We have, Davina, why don't you share how many members we currently have?
1,401.
1,401 members. Would you please raise your electronic hands if you are a member of NSDOAF? And then, if you will please raise your hand if you have heard about our society. So it only looks like we have 2 members, Renee and Glenn. So, Randall McFarlane, Thank you
Okay,
so
good.
much. So we've got one other member,
Wow,
good, or that you've heard about us.
it's a good
Well,
surprise.
marvelous. Thank you so much. As Davina said, we are quite unknown, even though we're a short 4 years old, soon to be 5 years. We have a very easy application form to fill out, and Renee has put both of them up. The short form requires that you only have your name, address, and you can use an application from another lineage organization. So you can use NSDAR, Sons of the American Revolution. You can use their approved application to go along with our short form application and attach one proof of documentation that your ancestor was a farmer. Suzanne and Davina and I did her application 2 days ago,
It was fun.
and it was such fun.
Really.
It took us under 15 minutes. Suzanne pulled up her Ancestry account. We worked on that. She had our short form on, and within 15 minutes, it was done. Suzanne, do you want to say anything about how easy it was and how painless it was?
Oh, I had so much fun. I mean, I was laughing so hard. I mean, it was so easy. I mean, just that 1888 census said my ancestor was a farmer in Iowa. Boom.
Done. So it was that easy. And the long form is not difficult. It just is more time consuming. If you need help, you can always call or email Davina or I. And Renee is a great source. I put her email up a little while ago also. So you have 3 of us that are ready, willing, and able to help you at any time to join our society.
You know, and many members actually from SAR, DAR, actually use their Revolutionary War patriots as their farmer also. So with the research that you love doing, you can find, if you really, really look, even the government can show records of them giving grain and livestock, etc., to feed the Revolutionary War soldiers. So, and along with that, we also have first-time members who cannot belong to any other societies, but they can ours. So it's a good gamut of people. We love it. We love it.
We recently had a gentleman from the NGS 2022, and I met him having lunch one day. Davina and I and Sue were there, and he said, "Oh, I cannot join. I don't have a farmer in my line." And I said, "Well, you know, come by the booth. Let me have your first 3 generations, and let me see if I can't do it for you tonight." Well, he came by the next day, and look at it, I wasn't at the booth that moment. Almost 1 year later, we got a letter from him with his application, and his letter was delightful. He said, I'll let you tell since you're the registrar.
Well, he found his people living in Canada, and that's where he thought they had always been. And then with the research, he found they had been naturalized in New York, and they had lived there 30 years. And he found this ancestor on a New York census. So he has officially become a member. And we called him and told him how happy we were. And he was really delighted. It's good. It's really good.
We love meeting our members. They become close friends to us, or they pick up the phone and call us and we call them.
Mm-hmm.
The dates are dates for approval of an application: July the 4th, 1776. And our current ending date is July the 4th, 1914. It used to be December 31st, 1900. But when the heraldry societies changed their dates for admission to July the 4th, to July the 20th, 1914, we changed ours to July the 4th, 1914. So that opened an entire new window for everyone to use that 1910 census. And that's helped us grow.
And the logo, which is fun, we had to come up with a logo right away because you must have a logo to start a society. And everyone had their idea of an animal. Everybody wanted every single farm animal there's ever been to be on the logo. And you've got to have a simple logo. So we decided the weather vane would be perfect. And we would make it really, really extra big and extra colorful. So it would be fun and easy to remember. So that's how we have the red rooster as our main so-called animal.
And Renee has the red rooster in her hand that she's going to show us.
Good.
And
There
then
he is.
on the next screen is our official logo, and you'll see there he is.
Mhm.
There's the red rooster. So while we're talking about the insignia, Renee, can you lean up a little bit and Davina can show her. Renee has a very impressive,
Beautiful.
this is our official ribbon. And Renee has all of her ancestor bars at the bottom. And we're unlike other societies. We do not require that you put your ancestors in any way. You can freedom. It's freedom. Have fun. Put it any way you want it. Oh, thank you, Renee, for doing that.
Yeah.
Look at her.
It's because each pin is important.
Thank you. Oh, that's it, Renee. Thank you. So you can see all of the pins. Those are her ancestor bars, and then there's many of them that she's earned or purchased for other items.
And one of our most recent ones is George Washington. And his quote is around his portrait. And it says, "I would rather be on my farm than emperor of the world."
And those are on our website. If when you join, that you can go and see. But the membership applications that we talked about, you have any questions, let me know later on and I'll answer them for you, or Davina will. We have youth applications for birth through 18, and we have memorial applications available also. And we have a family application form. Glenn, do you want to tell them how easy that application is to do?
Absolutely. I was, unlike the ladies here, I didn't really get into this until 2020 when no one could leave the house, and I ended up into it. And the only genealogical society I knew of was SAR at that point, because it wasn't really something I had looked into before. And I don't remember how I came across NSDOIF, but and I didn't think I'd be able to join because my family, several of my ancestors founded Newark, New Jersey in 1660, and I was the first one to leave. So I didn't think that there was going to be the possibility of there being any farmers, but I have found 6 so far. And the first application I did was super simple. I got notified like the next day, probably, by Davina and Janisu that I was in, and they've just kind of sucked me in. It's so easy to join, and it's so easy to enjoy that yeah, it's really, if you're new to genealogy, this is definitely a society that kind of lets you practice establishing your proofs and digging, finding what you're looking for, because what you're looking for isn't that difficult. If there was a census and they were on it and they were a farmer, you can find them, and you only have to go back. In fact, it's quite possible that the older applicants might have known the individual who was their propositus. So very simple and very painless process to become a member of the society.
Thank you, Glenn. And it's a one-time fee. you don't pay yearly for our dues. Renee, you want to add something about those applications since you do them so well?
My biggest thing that I think I would add is if you have a DAR application or an SAR application, it is so simple for us to extract information from that and then add a census record or other document, a will potentially, or land records that will reflect that the person that you're wanting to use as your ancestor is a farmer. It can say that they were a farmer. It could say they are in agriculture. It could say they worked on farm, they drove a truck. There's so many things that it will say on the census record as to what their occupation was. And that's your ticket right there, because then that proves the occupation of the ancestor that you're trying to use. And it just makes it very easy. And I've gotten to the point now where if I have a DAR app or an SAR app that I can extract information from, then we can do an app for you in just about 20 minutes. So it's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Renee. And you're a huge part of this society. If you are into QR codes, get your camera out and use the QR code. Here's our QR code that will take you directly to our website. And many people use this, and we're very pleased to have it.
And we're really proud of the website. It's amazing how much information is on there. So it's really a good thing to check out.
And we just did some updates today on the website. So our website's updated almost once a week. Our membership is posted on our closed website, and that is the full directory is updated the first week. By the 5th of each month, it's there for you to go and see your ancestors and your name. I think we're one of the few ones that do it every 30 days. Let's talk about membership certificates. We have so many of them that we offer. The first one is the membership certificate that you receive when you join. Now, this is Renee's. Renee joined in 2020. Now, remember, in 2020, we were December 31st, 1900. So her state's 1900. After that, then it became the 1914. But we haven't. She took and blanked out her number, and we put the member's name, the date, and the ancestor's name. And then our seal is custom seal, and that is our logo. So we're quite proud of that. Our graphic artist is the one who did that for us. And next one, please, Renee.
Farmer recognition.
Farmer recognition. Oh, these are delightful to do. Simply delightful. They, you fill out a form, and it does any ancestor that you have currently from any year that had a farm, and we verify that. And that this one was a farm since 1700. Isn't that exciting? So that one was done. This is, I don't know if many of you know, but Rachel Norman is our director and coordinator of education. And she does the agricultural educator certificates. And this one was given to the gentleman in Ohio. And we actually met Paul. And so it was delightful to meet him. So if you are a member, that's a delivery just to sign for. So if you are a member, you can request at any time, no charge, the agricultural educator certificates. These certificates are printed on high quality paper and made for framing. So that's a beautiful one to do. Next. Farmer wife. let Davina tell you about Farmer Wife. We are so pleased. The farmer wives have been neglected for many, many years. And I apologize, Davina had to go to the door for me. So Davina, would you like to tell them about Farmer Wife?
Yes, since we are 4 years old now and we can spread our wings a little bit, we know that the farmer wife worked very, very hard and was truly a farmer. So if you look at the census, it shows she was only a housewife, and that isn't fair. So our members and we decided the thing to do, the right thing to do, was to honor the farmer wife. So we do this with a supplemental. She cannot be a original member, only a supplemental. And on the certificate, we always have the farmer's name with her. So it shows that they really were a team. And we were beginning to wonder if we were ever going to find photos of the wife with the farmer. And we kept looking and looking, and we came up with this one that works. It's a beautiful, colorful, and really tells everything about the wife and the farmer.
And
so that's the certificate.
Yes, and our graphic artist, Courtney, designed this for us. And just to let you know, most everything with farmers is a heart thing. And Courtney donates his expertise for our graphic art as a graphic artist. And he designs all of our certificates. We are so truly blessed with having Courtney do these for us. The next one is a Diamond Award. We honor farmers who have been farming for 60 years plus, and they get the Diamond Award. And again, this is no charge, and we send this to the member or to the member who has requested this. And it's a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous award. I think all of ours are, so I keep saying that. And then the next one is, this is a gift membership. This is a fun one. We have people all the time say, could you do a gift membership for us? And Glenn, we did one for Glenn for his mother. This one was for the birth of a grandson. And Julie called and said, is it possible we could do this, Genesu? And I said, yes, just get us the birth certificate. Well, she did one better. When her grandson was born, she took a piece of paper to the hospital. The doctor signed it, an affidavit, and we were able within a few hours to have Brian, a member of our society, on the same day that he was born. We're so happy that we can do special things for our members. Makes us different. It helps. Let us talk about national ambassadors.
And to do that, when we started this society, we said life is too busy. No one has time to go to meetings and do all these extra things. So for this society, we will not have chapter meetings. We will not have state meetings. We will only have national officers, and we will have, Genesu decided, ambassadors to represent us in each state. So we are keeping it simple to make life easier for our members. And our ambassadors have a lot of leeway in what they can do. They can have meetings at restaurants. They can
follow other organizations and meet after the main organizations meet. Glenn just did that in California. Renee did it in Tennessee with her group. And many of them have cocktail parties.
Right, and they can go together to give these certificates to honor farmers with farm recognition certificates, which is what you were going to talk about, that Victoria is doing.
Victoria telephoned Davina and I the other day, and she said, do you remember a lady in California
Aaron Brockovich.
Aaron Brockovich. And we said, yes, yes. She said, well, she's been well publicized on getting something done
About pollution.
with pollution. She said, but I'm not going to talk with you about that. I'm going to talk with you about a lady in North Carolina.
Mhm. And the lady is a farmer. Her son is a farmer. And the son has asked Victoria if she would do a certificate for his mother to honor her, because in the 1950s, she realized that pollution was harming farmers and it was actually killing some. So she fought a huge company.
Big.
And after this huge fight, she won. She won and solved the problem in getting rid of the water that was being polluted. And she even had a little bit of money left. And with this money, she dedicated it to getting a park to help the people in the area, the farmers who could go there and relax and enjoy themselves. So this lady has never had much recognition. So it's going to be fun for Victoria to take photos when she does this little happy presentation of the certificate.
They're going to do, her sons are going to do a YouTube and publicize it, because the mother has never been recognized for saving all of these farms from this huge corporation. They said that she would never win, and she did.
And then another farmer recognition was from a member in Oklahoma who had us send 4 certificates to a family of 4 farmers, and they were 2 sons, the father and the grandfather. And she gave the 3 certificates. Then she was giving the last one to the grandfather. And when she did, thanking him, tears started rolling down his face, and he actually started crying. And he said, "This is the first time in my entire life anyone has ever thanked me for being a farmer." So the piece of paper truly meant something to him, and thanks are always good.
We thought that we would be showing you the certificate of our last member that just joined, but that's no longer true.
That's true.
We have 2 after that. So we'll just go on past this one since we have another one. Farmerettes. I have ideas sometimes all the time, and I think all of you will understand this. Renee and Glenn, I pick up the phone and I say, what do you think about? Well, I picked up the phone one morning about 7 o'clock, and I called our Georgia ambassador. And I said, what do you know about farmerettes?
She had been a librarian.
And she said, well, I know a little bit, but let me look at it. So she put her thinking cap on. She came back about 2 hours later, and she said, this is possible. We can do this. We can recognize these farmerettes. So we put a team together. We put Kate and
2 or 3 others.
and
Charlie Mullenweg,
and who's Missouri?
Linda Mizell.
Linda Mizell. So our team of 3 magnificent ones started researching farmerettes. In the beginning, we thought there would be, maybe 15, 20 farmerettes that we could find. Well, they have currently found over 2,000, and they're on our website. Davina, you want to tell them what a farmerette is, in case you don't know?
World War I, World War II, of course, our farmers had to go to war, so they weren't in this country. And we needed food to feed them, to send to them, and we needed food for our citizens. So these farmerettes are women who decided to help on the farms, and they were truly valuable people. And if you ask now people who are doing research and say, do you have a farmerette in your history? No one even knows what you're talking about. So they were just kind of totally forgotten. But it is really fascinating to know that our members were able to find that many actual names who were farmerettes.
On our website, we also have, you're fine, thank you, Renee. On our website, we also have a map of the farm museums. So if you're traveling and you want to go and visit farm museums, they are on our website. So it's under farm museums. Well, let's talk about my favorite subject and Chris Hurst-Luffler's favorite subject. Chris Hurst-Luffler is our director of scholarships. And when Davina wanted to start a society, she said, if we do this, we've got to give a large portion of it to scholarships in agriculture and farming. Well, that we knew we weren't going to start a society. Well, then we did. So 60% of our one-time fee goes directly to scholarships in agriculture and farming. The applicants have a 2.5 minimum cumulative
Grade point average.
grade point average. You want to tell the rest of it?
Well, written essay is required. Personal interview may be required, and they can apply each year. They're in school, and the deadline is August 1st and January 1st. And it is thrilling to give these scholarships. They're about $2,000 each. And we have given, what is it, 26 students.
Oh, I apologize. We've given 36. My apologies.
Yes.
We've given 36 students $74,000. Now, understand, we have not touched one dime in our Vanguard account to give these. So when you join, 60% of the one-time fee goes directly to scholarships.
So
in
it's because
agriculture.
of our members.
It's because of each of you, our
That's right.
members. It's a heart thing. It's a good heart thing to know that you are helping the future American farmer. Our Toastmaster also does all of our Zooms for us. Glenn is magnificent. He tells all about the Zooms. In fact, we've done a few lately that have been phenomenal. Glenn did one on Sir William. He was fun. That's on
Worm castings.
worm casting, also called worm poop. Glenn, do you remember Vermont Shepherd cheese?
Yes, I recall. I have to say, Davina and Janisu are constantly challenge me with new guest speakers to celebrate with my toasts. One of my more challenging ones was sorghum.
Oh, yes.
And then I was challenged to write a poem about sorghum, so I did. That's on our Facebook page. Apparently these sorghum folks really like that. There was something else I was going to say about, I wanted to, before we get too far from it, I wanted to mention something about the scholarships.
Yes.
Having two college-age children, I know A, how much tuition costs, and B, how much of a help our scholarship is. The $2,000 scholarship is one of the largest I've seen that is not directly associated with an educational institution. You know, they often have like their president's scholarship and things like that, but outside scholarships are typically in the range of $250 to $500, maybe $1,000. $2,000 that's renewable is a huge deal. And as a member, I'm very, of the many things we do, of which I am proud, the scholarships that are funded by our members are really just one of the just breakthrough bonuses that we offer. It's just $2,000 is amazing for a scholarship amount from an outside society. So I just wanted to say that. But yes, I'm also privileged and honored to be the Toastmaster. An individual asked me before the class started if I'm a member of Toastmasters, the national organization. I am not. I work too much for that. But I am proud to be the Toastmaster for us, and proud to wrap up our meetings and thank our guests after each Zoom. All of the Zooms are available on the NSDOAF YouTube channel. So if you want to see the YouTube about sorghum, when the sorghum folks joined us, you're certainly welcome to. And I did the one we did with the farm and the little market that's nearby you, Janisu. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes.
At the end of my toast, his wife was wiping tears from her eyes. So I take personal pride in that. But I think I'll stop talking now. As a Toastmaster, I tend to be a bit garrulous, so I will stop talking and let us continue on with our presentation.
Please continue. You're fine, Glenn, you're fine. I wanted to name some of the Zooms that we've done. And Glenn, you're more than welcome to pipe in at any time. Vermont Shepherd Cheese. It was magnificent. Bill and the Alien. Bill and the Alien. No, it's not an alien from out of the world. Bill Ritchie is one of our magnificent, marvelous members. And he does his ancestor bars with alien tape. So it is on our website how to do that. Gunter Muddy Pond sorghum, my favorite. Davina.
What else? Thomas Jefferson, the farmer. That was fun too. And Walker Honey.
We just did Walker Honey. Now, what's up for farmers and Zooms? I know Glenn's going to love to hear this one. We are going to have a drone. We just secured that yesterday. And so that will be next month.
When we went to Farm Science Review near Columbus, Ohio, a few months ago, they took us out on a field and showed us how the drone works to help farmers. And it was absolutely fascinating that this small, expensive piece of equipment, the drone, can do so much good for farmers. So that company is coming on, and the man that was operating the drone said, the man who invented this is from Houston, Texas. And we don't live too far from there. So we thought, oh, this is going to be easy to find it, because we at that time didn't get his phone number.
Taken us a year.
Yes, they finally, Renee found it.
We found him. Renee, why don't you go ahead and tell just a little bit about Hy-Vee, please?
Well, we're very excited because when we finally were able to get a hold of them, and then Arthur contacted us back, and then after that we actually got to speak to him a little bit. He actually was very excited to get to present to us, and that I thought was very telling, because he saw us as a quality organization that was basically worth his time. And I was excited because I think that this whole idea about drones in farming opens up a whole nother realm that we have never investigated before as a society. So I'm quite thrilled and looking forward to hearing his presentation. But he seems like he's going to be a very, very exciting speaker.
Interesting. Thank you, Renee. Davina and I, during 2022, we went to Husker Harvest. We are trying to get the word out that the National Society Descendants of American Farmers exists. So we went to Husker Harvest, and we spent a few days while it rained, but how we had a lot of fun. And we met a lot of farmers there. And then from there, we went to Ohio State. And amazing, absolutely amazing.
For someone who doesn't know the details about farming, I mean, it's like a whole nother world. It was street after street after street rooms, tables, buildings, everything you can imagine. It was like almost like a college with everything going on at the same time, and you didn't have enough time to see it all and learn all you could. But the farmers were there, and anytime you talked with a farmer, they knew which generation they were. They were really into the genealogy of their farm. They knew all about their ancestors. So it was quite an experience.
You would say, what generation are you in farming? I'm 9th generation. We live on the same farm that our ancestors were. They were unique. We had a poster of our Nebraska and our Ohio recipients of the scholarship. And we would say, this is our scholarship awardee. This is this and this. And this gentleman came by and he said, "That's my student." And then he told us all about his student. It was
Connor Johnson.
yes, it was rewarding.
Mhm.
And then Connor received another scholarship the next time. Renee, would both of you like to talk about military and NSDOAF, please?
Then you want to go first?
As you wish.
Glenn, please.
uh, Renee and I are both Desert Storm veterans, and we are pleased that NSDOAF recognized that they have several veteran members among their number, men and women, officers and enlisted, all, well, 5 of the 6 current services. And they felt it was a worthy endeavor to recognize our military members for their service, just as important in a completely different bailiwick as farmers, of course. So we are pleased that the NSDOAF leadership allows us to recognize our members. If you go to our website, there is a page where we invite our veteran members to submit a bit of a military experience form, a bit of a CV for their military service, and a picture of themselves in uniform. And it's fun because some of them are, like mine, are boot camp photos, which was a while ago, and some of them are fairly recent. It's fun to see the different members when they were in the service. And recently, we have started the U.S. government, this being the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam era. The U.S. government has started a Vietnam commemoration, and they are offering materials and assistance in recognizing veterans of the Vietnam era and their families. They are not, it's very important. This is the point we make to our members. They're not celebrating the war in any way or fashion. They're just simply thanking the Americans who served during that time abroad or in the United States. So Renee and I hosted our first Vietnam veteran tribute for 5 members of the society who are Vietnam service or Vietnam era members. Some served overseas in country. One woman served in Texas, but was still in uniform and still during that time, and deserved recognition. We invited each of them to share a little bit about their service, and then Renee, as usual, does the heavy lifting and puts together a package of the official pin that is minted by the U.S. government and several other items, including a NSDOAF certificate of honor, which we generated and is specific to us as a commemorative partner, and sends it to each of the veterans as a material recognition of their service. And we're currently working on a second Zoom for June 4th, and hopefully the folks will respond to that so we can get it together. But everyone is welcome to join on those Zooms. It doesn't have to just be the membership. We are eager to recognize our Vietnam era members and family members, friends, anyone who is eligible to receive that recognition. We're looking to give it to them as well, and we invite the general public to join us on the Zoom for that recognition.
We do. Thank you, Glenn. Renee, do you want to add anything before you go to Red?
The biggest thing is, I believe that first Zoom that we offered for our Vietnam veteran era members was so touching, and I enjoyed it so much because they were able to sit down and share with us memories and experiences and things, and we all wanted to hear them, and they were awesome. Being prior military and then getting to listen to their experiences and then in my mind kind of compare it to my deployed experience was an experience that I probably never would have had I not been doing it through this organization, because none of the other organizations that I'm a member of have done something like that. So I'm very proud of Farmers because we are innovative on how we do things. We oftentimes are trailblazers in what we do, and other societies will soon follow because many of us are in those other societies and spread the word. So I thoroughly enjoyed the Zooms that we were able to, have those folks come and talk to us. And I'm looking forward to our second Zoom. Hopefully we'll get RSVPs and people will attend with us. Now I'd like to switch to one of my little sidelights that I do is Red Fridays. And for anyone that is not familiar with what Red Fridays stand for, it just means remember everyone deployed. And it's for civilian, it's for military families also. But the biggest thing is, and you see me, I'm wearing red today, and I just came from a meeting this morning and everyone there was wearing red also because I've been spreading the word. And it's just a fun way of being able to show your support for those that are out of the country, deployed on service to our country. And those of us that have been deployed know how it feels to not be at home and wondering if our families and friends back home really even remember that we're gone. So this is just an easy way to be able to show your support. And it's picking up, which I'm very excited about. And for what we do in Farmers is every Friday is Red Friday. And I encourage all of our members who want to participate to submit their photo to our site. And what I do at the end of the day is I compile a collage of all those that participated that day. And then my hope is going to be that at the end of the year, we will have 52 weeks of collages of members that have supported our Red initiative. And from that point, then I'll submit it on to the Red organization so they can see what Farmers has done in support of their initiative. So for me, it's very exciting. It's very easy. It's fun. I love Red. So it just makes it work. But and I encourage those of you listening today, you don't have to be in the military or prior military, but those of you that are listening today, please just mark it in your phone so it reminds you on Fridays, wear something red.
Thank you, Renee.
I have one more thing to say about the military tribute section
Yes.
of our society is that like many of the departments in the society, the states and youth ambassadors, things of that nature, we have a twice yearly newsletter called Military Musings, where we just kind of touch base with our veterans. It comes out on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. In a week or so, our second issue will come out, and it's not a huge deal. It's not 30 pages. It's a couple pages of just Renee and I letting the veterans know that we're thinking of them. There's a little bit of there's some interesting trivia in there. I do an article about a veteran farmer who basically it's been basically farmers who have won the Medal of Honor or who have been awarded the Medal of Honor. When that's not when if you get the Medal of Honor, you didn't win anything. And it's a lot of fun for me because I'm a big history buff. And it's just one of the many ways that Renee and I get to participate in the society.
Thank you, Glenn. Each of these little extras that we have for Farmers have come from ideas from our membership, from Renee, from Glenn, from Sue Fitzpatrick, from Bill Ritchie. We take every single idea that our members have and we act on it. It might not be today or tomorrow, but eventually we will look at that and we will make it where it's implemented that we can use it for NSDOAF.
And our favorite word for the American farmer is they are innovative. And so we are trying to be innovative like they are.
Yes. So there are two questions that we ask each prospective member. And they are, do you agree to have fun? And this is serious. We really mean it. And if they say no, we haven't ever had anyone say no. They usually just start laughing. And when they say yes, then we say, well, the second question is, do you agree there will be no stress with NSDOAF? And everyone is shocked. But we do believe that this society is existing with having fun and with no stress. There's no stress on our board. The most stress that we have is for Davina to get those applications completed in record-breaking time, but really there's no stress with us. So the little quote that Renee was so kind to put it on, it says, in all of living, have much fun and laughter. Life is to be enjoyed, not just endured. Gordon Hinckley. Now, before we do the toast, please. Suzanne, could you camera, please? And volume. Thank you. Davina has got something to present to you.
Suzanne, we are so honored to give you your official membership certificate.
It's done, it's printed, it's
Yes, yes. Honoring you and your wonderful American farmer, Alonzo Bartlett from Woodbury County, Iowa. And your number, we have been looking forward to this number since 1,300. And you are number 1,400. So you are a milestone. That's wonderful. Thank you, Suzanne.
Such fun.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you, Suzanne. And Suzanne was able to do this, like we said earlier. She filled it out while we were online. She submitted it. She sent it to us electronically. She paid via PayPal, and we had it accomplished. It was printed by the printer yesterday, and Davina picked it up quickly today so that we will mail it for you tomorrow, Suzanne.
Amazing.
Amazing how
I
quickly.
gotta swear, it was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Good, good.
And it was the most fun, and she was a little shocked when I asked her the questions.
How can you have fun doing, the proofs for an organization? But it was great.
Yes.
Great.
Well, congratulations, Suzanne. We'll do the toast, and then I have a surprise for everyone that have stayed on and listened to us, but we'll do it after Glenn's phenomenal toast. Stay on and camera, please, Suzanne. Glenn, it's all yours, sir.
I just want to say before I do the toast, we did that whole presentation for people who have joined other societies or thinking about joining other societies. We did that whole presentation almost an hour, and the word bylaws was not mentioned once. So you can see that our organization is a little more relaxed and not as structurally concerned as some of the other ones to which Renee and Genesu and Davina and I belong. So just take that into consideration when you do your application. But if you will raise your glasses or whatever you have, on behalf of the officers and members of the National Society, Descendants of American Farmers, I want to thank Ms. Malik for inviting our national leadership to introduce our society to our students today. All of us started our journeys into our family histories from square one, and today's attendees are fortunate to have a guide as experienced and dedicated as Suzanne Malik. Genealogy is a fascinating field, and a special one in that each person has their own unique connection to what they find. It is always wonderful to discover the roles our own ancestors played in the development of the world we live in today, and to know that we share the same blood as those who witnessed and frequently made history hundreds of years ago or more. Thanks to Ms. Malik, people who have a new interest in genealogy have found a welcoming and supportive introduction to it, without being discouraged or dissuaded by what can often be a Byzantine path to the truth about their forefathers. And so let us raise our glasses. As a society, we wish Ms. Malik, her genealogy students, the staff at the Elizabeth Sturm Library, and everyone at Truckee Meadows Community College health, happiness, and a successful voyage on the high seas of education and enlightenment. Cheers.
Here.
Cheers.
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 Cheers. Cheers. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Glenn. We always toast. Glenn, you are amazing, dear friend. Absolutely amazing. And Suzanne, we will get you a certificate of acknowledgement for doing this. Suzanne, do you want to leave the camera on and the questions, or do you want to, are you shutting it off?
No, before we go to the question and answers, do you mind, Renee, sharing the website so we can kind of get an idea of website? And do you have social media presence like Facebook or
Oh,
Twitter?
yes. Yes, we do. Let her open up her browser and do that.
Okay.
Renee is ready.
I was gonna say, Madam President National, may I have a moment just to give them a quick tour?
Absolutely. It's all yours, Renee.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so this is our homepage where we can also have our members log in. This is where you're going to find information about our society. You can meet the officers, see some of the work that we have done. You can see actually members in action doing their awards for certificates and things like that. This is one of my favorite spots, our ancestors themselves. And it's just neat the way these are highlighted, and you can go in and read about other members and their ancestors. We have our photo galleries. And so I'm going.
Renee, please go back one to About Us and show them governance.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Renee. This will show you, we are so open, that will show you all of our IRS filings.
Yes.
Thank you, Renee.
Yes, ma'am. Under photo galleries, I just want to share with you, obviously, my favorite is going to be military tribute. And I wanted you to get to just see for a moment what Glenn and I were speaking about is in regard to our various initiatives. So you'll see here on, as we come through, you'll see our members that have submitted their info, and then you can click on them and read their bios and see if by chance you serve with someone in the same area or whatever, if you've had similar backgrounds.
Don't scroll past your picture so fast. People wanted to see it.
It was a young little thing that,
and Renee, go back one to the photo gallery.
To the photo gallery, yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
please. If you will look at the member photo gallery, I believe that was the one that's always done at DAR. No, it was the one where Pamela's in the center. Maybe back.
I think that she's in my Red Fridays. She was. There she is. This one?
No, Pamela Wright.
Oh, okay.
Group photo.
It's the group photo. Try that one. But I didn't think it was there. No, one down. Members in action. That's it. Members in action. Never mind.
Nope, that's our website. That's the Facebook page.
We'll just go on.
I know I have seen it. I wonder if it's rotated though.
About a second ago. It's all right.
It'll probably scroll if it rolls back through again, we'll see it. This is where this tab talks about our farmer recognition. This is another fun thing. You know how we talked earlier about farm museums? I wanted to make sure that I showed everyone what we were speaking about. This is what we're saying. You can click here and actually click on an area and see what the museums are in that. Oh, I picked Tennessee, imagine that. And you get to see the farms in that area for the museums. So I thought this was a very interesting, innovative thing that Farmers has done that I've not seen on other organizations. Also, the Women's Land Army, you're going to see info about that, which we talked about earlier. And you'll have information to on how to submit those educational things. Our agricultural educator honors that we talked about, you have the access points here for that. In addition to, this is really fun, our own farmer stories where members are able to submit their own family stories here and we can share them. And I just love it. It's heartfelt, and it's an opportunity. It's a platform for you to share about your family. Our speaker series here is just where we list all of the folks that have presented to us before. You'll see we really do things by Zoom. Here we are. And then our President National, she always takes a photo of those in attendance. And you'll see there's ways of getting into, if you know someone that would maybe like to present to us, they can submit for the speaker series. And I'm also working now as one of the folks that actually does programming now for the society. So please have them reach out to us. I would love to speak to them and figure a time that might work where they could present to our society, because we love finding out about different things across the country, and different territories of the country do things differently. So it's wonderful. This one is our tab for our scholarship application. Okay, and everything. It's very easy. It's very easy to follow. You can download the application. You can also see who past recipients were, and it gives you specifics of exactly what you need to do and who you need to contact in order to apply for that scholarship. And then, of course, this is most important too, is the fact that we have our membership link. So I am very, very hopeful that all of you watching today and listening to us will be intrigued, will want to find out more, and please, that you will challenge me when I try to write my applications in 20 minutes. If you will please give me that opportunity, I would love to write your application so that you can join us also in our society. It is the most fun I have in any of my societies. The folks are amazing. The people you work with are incredible. They are just respectful. They are on time. It's great. So please consider that. And that will be my elevator speech for today.
It is a personal invitation from the four of us for
Yes, yes.
each and every one of you to come and join us in the National Society Descendants of American Farmers. Help us make our 1,500 members.
And I especially want to send a thing out to the men. It definitely, if you join us for our Zooms, I am often greatly outnumbered. Yeah. And it may seem like this is another one of the, women's heritage organizations, and it definitely is not. It just happened to kind of find its roots from DAR and the connections that were there. Don't feel like you're going to be, just kind of marginalized if you're a man and you join this organization. That we welcome, we're happy to have men. You have farmers in your ancestry, just like the women, and please don't have any trepidation about joining what you may feel like is a women's organization, but is certainly not limited to women.
And the last three that Davina just received are all gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes, three.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn. We appreciate you. Glenn, what are the things around your neck?
Well, as a co-director, I have the big one. not as big as President National, but I have the big pendant.
Yes.
Many of my pins are. When we first started doing Zooms in 2020, we thought it would be just for a couple of months. So we had pins for each of the Zoom meetings that you could put on there. And 3.5 years in, that would be a bit untenable unless you're wearing something like Renee has. So some of them, one of them is a founder bar because I am one of the founding members. I snuck in under the gun for that. I have one of my ancestor bars. I haven't ordered the rest yet. They're probably going to go on a different thing. And several of the pins that we sell on the website for your ribbon, all the proceeds go directly to the scholarships. Like the cow, I think the cow was a scholarship one. There's a goat.
The cow was $250.
Yeah, the goat is because it's a kid. It's for the
The youth.
Yeah.
scholarship. So you can increase your amount of bling and also support our scholarships at the same time. If you're used to the DAR where people wear like entire covered with pins,
Yes.
this is definitely an organization that allows you to express yourself with your and your insignia. So yeah, that's what many of these are. In this, I was honored to receive the President's Medal a few times. Still not sure how I managed that, but
You deserve it.
I appreciate it, and it is a special award that the president gives to people who have gone above and beyond for the society. So
Thank you, Glenn.
Renee,
Well-
could you
well deserved.
share, Renee, could you share the website and kind of show the students the kinds of pins that you have? I was particularly tickled pink at the types of pins that you offer.
Oh,
And-
yes, ma'am.
and-
Give me
And
a second.
and Suzanne, in the store, you will notice that some of the pins, for instance, the cow, that was a donation that it goes, I think we still have a couple of them that goes directly to scholarships. They all do, the proceeds. And if you can look at Renee's ribbon, she has a beehive, and you won't see that. It's fine, Renee. Don't move it. It was fine.
Oh, okay.
The
Right.
beehive. The beehive is an awarded pin, and anybody can be awarded it. That goes above and beyond with farmers. And so she has the beehive. And the reason she has the beehive is because she has a lot of these little bees that are flying around on her ribbon, and she needed a house for that beehive.
And stars.
And the stars are for every 10 supplementals that she has. So
There's our beehive,
there's her beehive,
Right.
and there's some more of the little bees.
and
Whoops.
the little bees are so
Yep.
adorable. They are.
I haven't put these
Have you
on
got-
yet, but
Have you gotten to the store? on
I
the-
have, yes, ma'am.
Oh, and the horse. She
yeah.
has the horse on, and the horse,
Oh,
Her horse was a $500 donation.
and that was because of COVID, because we were all in a stable. So we had the horse for that.
yep. Okay, let me come back to, hold on 1 second, please. Come back to.
Did everyone love that toast that Glenn did?
Yes,
it's
that was
remarkable.
wonderful.
I hope you're able to cut that out and keep it for you.
Well, I think our marketing department does wonders with videos, so I think I might be able to get that done.
Good, good. It's good memory. There it is.
Okay, am I back? Okay,
You'll need,
click on our link here for shop,
I believe you, okay.
then you'll see all of the fun things we have. Our pins are reflected here also. Some of them come from City Pride. So I just want to make sure we let everyone know that not everything is just on this site.
City
Yeah.
Pride is your ancestor
That's where we
bars.
get our ancestor bars. Yes. Yes.
And they're a deep, deep engraved.
They are. They're awesome. Awesome. All right. And so here's just some of the,
And bear in mind that these are quite reasonable compared to others. Generation pin. What is a generation pin? It means that you have honored 2 generations, a father and a son. So you can wear that generation pin.
mhm.
And there's the memory horse. The memory horse is $65, but it does require a $500 donation.
Oh, and again, all this money goes to scholarships for the most part, so that's why we do this. We're raising money to help educate future farmers and agricultural students and veterinarians and things like that. Here's our red pins for our roosters.
Here's the red rooster. One of our members wears it around a pearl
Yeah, she
necklace,
wears it on the necklace, yeah.
and then she puts it in her hair, and she puts it everywhere. It's a great thing. Red rooster goes in, and Davina wears her red rooster continually all the time.
All right, and let's
You can
go
notice it.
for,
Oh, there's the cow.
oh, here's the cow.
Oh, you must see our name tags. We
Yep.
offer name tags.
Hold on here.
And the name, you pick which one you want, and we have it engraved for you. And it is a cutout. I
Yeah. I was looking for some other ones while we were.
I have the horse. I think it's adorable. We have one member who ordered every single name tag because she liked all the shapes. So she can have that. But Suzanne, thank you for asking about this. The plow, Renee, can you roll back?
Yes, ma'am.
The plow is specifically made for us in the US, and that has our initials on it.
Yep.
You can't buy it anywhere else but with us.
I was wanting to jump over to Hamilton Insignia and show our military then too. Glenn
Oh,
has
yes.
it on. Glenn, are you wearing it? Yes,
That
please.
little
Can you
thing.
show-
Can you try and go on Hamilton? That way they can see where they buy their official insignia. We are the ones who sell. It is beautiful, Glenn. You can see where we sell the miniature, but Hamilton sells the regular size.
Yeah,
insignia.
I'll jump to
Renee
Hamilton.
has a name tag on.
Yes, Renee has her green name tag on.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Hold on. And I just wanted everyone to be able to see.
I want to thank every one
favorite.
of you for being part of this Zoom and for staying with us. 29 of you have been here from start to finish. And thank you so much. We appreciate your attendance. And hopefully we have enticed you to where you will submit an application. If you'll use your electronic hand, if you think you have a farmer in your line. One, two. Oh, look at that, Wendy. Okay. Yes. Well, we've got two of them. Three. Thank you, George. Bill. Hey, Bill in Texas. Bill in Texas, where are you in Texas? Todd.
They're muted.
Well, I hope that you'll take me up on this this great offer for you to have a Reno discount and to join us. So she's
All right. If you're ready.
doing her magic. There it is. And that is that's our military one.
It is absolutely amazing. And
It's gorgeous. It's
online,
35 and it's $35.
It's impressive.
yes, and you just can't get, and it's so beautiful. And Glenn designed it, and so I
He
just
certainly
wanted
did.
everyone to be able to see. Let me unblur this, but he did an amazing job. And so I don't know if you can see it, but
It's
my,
gorgeous.
it is my absolute favorite of all of them that we have up there.
It is mine.
Truly.
It is mine also. And then you'll see the regular insignia is there.
We have ambassador pins too, for those of us that are ambassadors,
Yes.
director pins, ribbons.
But we have a member to member pin. And
Yes.
that's sweet. And then we have the member bars also. But we have a
Oh,
whole
and
bunch of-
supplements. Our
Yes.
pin for supplements.
yes, 10 and plus.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people who have 4 of them that have 40 supplements, 30 and things like that.
Davina, can you explain to the people who are not DAR what member to member means?
Member to member means that you have enticed someone to join our society, and they have joined it. So that's you bringing in another member.
Mhm.
And on
you.
the application, it says referred at the top.
And unlike some organizations, we take everyone's word. So if you tell us that you have 25 referrals, then we understand and we approve it. And we have never had anyone be untruthful. So we are so different than any other society nowadays, because you, as an American farmer ancestor, and I know the struggles that the American farmers went through, and they would do anything. They would give you their shirt off their back. So we try and reciprocate with whatever is best for you. We will try very hard to accomplish that. How you doing, Renee?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to capture all these suggestions that people have given me. It's awesome. I appreciate it.
Sounds perfect. Then Suzanne, I think we're ready to go into questions and answers.
Okay, then I'll open up the floor and I'll ask that whoever has a question to please unmute your microphone, but leave your cameras off and ask the question. Then when you're done asking the question, please turn your microphone back off. So I'll just open the floor. While we're waiting for questions to come in, I have a couple. Let's see here. You had mentioned suggestions. I noticed, for the time period ending at 1914, what about, I know with the DAR, you don't have to necessarily have a patriot ancestor who fought in the Revolutionary War to qualify. You can come in on an ancestor who helped support the cause. Is it the same way with your organization? Like, for instance, I have multiple generations who worked in Iowa in the John Deere factory. John Deere, I kind of looked it up while you were talking. John Deere started in 1837 with farm implements. So would like selling farm implements or working at the John Deere factory qualify as an entry for a farmer?
No, sorry, we did, but no.
They have to have something to do with agriculture and farming.
Okay, so selling farming implements would not qualify.
Selling them, we'll have to go back to the drawing board on that. I'll give you an example, Suzanne. We had one member say that they did not have a farmer. They were from New Orleans, and he worked on the dock, and we were able to find out that he was a herder, and he actually herded the animals from the dock to the holding pen, or to where they were being sold. And that was considered because it was listed as agriculture on that census. Many of the censuses will say agriculture. And if it says agriculture or farming, then yes, it qualifies.
Got it. So if they're on like the agricultural supplemental census, then that would qualify as well.
Correct, yes.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know.
And make sure you look at those wills, because a lot of times the wills will say, I give 500 cattle, 200 horses, 1 pig, 2 blah, blah, blah. Then we know that they were a farmer.
And death certificates really show the occupation.
Many death certificates say farmer, retired farmer. We find a lot of them with retired farmer. And most of the farmers outlive their wives by about 10 years. Those rare ones that pass on before the wife, then they qualify to be a true ancestor of ours, because then it shows that they own that farm and that they are a farmer.
Okay, understood. Now,
People ask us if owning land, the proof of it being land works, and it doesn't. I mean, it does for antebellum planters, but it doesn't for us. We have to have the proof of the person actually being a farmer, an
And,
American farmer.
and the one with the land is the National Society Sons and Daughters of Antebellum Planters. And I just came off of it as a national officer, but that is for plantation owners, 500 acres. So those of you who want information on that, let me know, and I'm happy to share that with you. David Smith is the registrar. He's just a grand guy.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess it's a comment. There's another category. I know that my grandfather was a farmer. It says so on the 1900 census when he was only 25. But my mother recalls their time picking fruit. They were itinerant farmers picking fruit in the Central Valley in California. I think she did too. It's probably before child labor laws.
How about
There's no way for me to trace even where she was born. As a matter of fact, there is no record of where she was born except in the state of California. And they went up and down the state, and they went to Oregon and Idaho and picked fruit. So that's just a comment. It's another category. I don't think you have a pin for that one.
no, but if we could document that somehow, Barbara Jo.
Yeah, I wonder how though.
And well, let me put my thinking cap on in Davina,
Mhm.
and let's see what we can
Okay, 'cause
figure out and find.
they were on the move all the time.
Yes, that's what they were doing. We have many, not many, we've had a few ancestors that started working farms when they were, was it 9?
It was.
9 years old, and it's documented. Barbara Jo, it's documented. 9-year-old farm laborer.
Wow.
9. So it's not unusual to see a 9-year-old in
Well, I'll check and see if my mother's called that.
yes, because you never ever know. I mean, how about documentation, Bible records, diaries, anything like that?
Yeah, no.
You know,
Yeah.
farmers actually keep records of who they employed to work as farm laborers. They never did.
Probably not.
That's what I was wondering, if they had to work for somebody.
Mhm.
Well, then that qualifies them if they work for someone.
Farm laborer.
That's farm laborer.
Yeah, and well, he was a farmer when he was 25, so he's, I don't need that information, but I want to know what my mother went through,
Well,
what she
the-
experienced.
The mother, your mother, was probably a farm laborer
Yeah,
at the same time. We just
right.
have to kind of tweak it and research it more.
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Nice to visit with you.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
That was a great question.
It was.
Excellent.
I
question.
have a question. When you were showing the picture of the agriculture educator certificate, how do you earn that? What do you got to do to earn that?
You don't earn it. It's a gift. If you have been in FFA or 4-H, and Renee, can you go back to that educator certificate? If you have been in FFA or 4-H or your friend, okay, so I'm going to use you as an example. Suzanne, let's say that you were in 4-H and you taught in 4-H for 9 months. Then we go on our website. There is a form. You fill out the instructor's name, where they were, what years they were, and they submit it to Renee, not Renee, to anyway, Rachel Norman. You submit it to Rachel, and Rachel submits it to us, and then we fill it out. We have the printer fill it out. For instance, this one was to the Ohio University. He was a instructor, and he was an instructor and he also was an FFA instructor. So each one of these are done individually for them. It's not a cut and dried certificate. So all you do is go on our website, nsdoaf.com. It's a very simple one-page form. You fill it out. We do quite a bit of research on these to see that where they were and what years, and then we award you, the member, that certificate to present to them. Did I?
Yeah, you answered it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that clarification.
Good. And our members can order as many as they want. Our certificates are for, if you wanted to order 4 of them, we will make 4 of them for you if they're approved. It's a way to honor the instructors, the FFA and 4-H that have never been honored before. Speaking of that, we just gave in Ohio a few months ago, we gave the FFA, we gave a huge, big, gorgeous plaque to the family of the founders of 4-H. And that was a great presentation. Our member, Dr. Donald Wallace, did that presentation at an evening event, and the family was thrilled. And in that environment, during that evening, no one knew about NSDOAF. Cindy, if you worked for Farm Credit Services, was that part of FFA and 4-H? Okay. Well, thank you for working for Farm Credit Services. That's a lot of years, lots of years.
Can you suggest topics for Zoom presentations to your organization?
Yes.
I was thinking, my mom was born and raised on a farm, and she was also 4-H growing up. But I visited her hometown, and it's a little town in North Dakota. Well, I guess it's, by my standards, I guess it's little. By North Dakota standards, it may not be so little. But when I was there was a small genealogical society, and I was thinking genealogical resources located in farming communities would be a good topic, I think, from the genealogical and farming standpoint, with Devil's Lake, North Dakota in Ramsey County being a really great example of that. They have a Carnegie Library that used to be a library, and they converted it into a history center of Devil's Lake, North Dakota. And I believe it's run by volunteers. And that would be, just farming community genealogical resources would be a great presentation topic, I would think.
Would you shoot that to me in an email, please, ma'am?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Great. That's a great idea. We are open to all different Zoom presentations. We try and do a Zoom every 30 to 45 days to make up for not having the monthly meetings. So you're able to stay at home, have a cup of coffee with us, bring your anything that you want to eat or drink during one of our Zooms, and enjoy our speakers, because they are I am always amazed at what I leave with the amount of learning.
And because it's Zoom, you don't even have to wear pants.
Oh, you got it, Glenn.
That's right. No dress requirements. True.
Oh, goodness, no attire. Yes, that's a good one, Glenn.
Unless you have your pins on.
Oh, how true, how true, how true. Well, do you understand? We do have fun here. We do have fun. I mean, if you cannot laugh and have fun, why be in it?
Yeah.
Why submit yourself to it?
I was at a restaurant, I don't know, a couple of years ago. It was before COVID hit. And my husband and I were having lunch at a local eatery, and in the room right next to us, in the part of the dining room separated from our part of the dining room, we heard all this laughing and laughing and laughing. And so I couldn't resist. So I walked over and kind of peeked behind the wall. And it was the Red Hat Society meeting. And,
Oh,
so I immediately looked up their website when I got home, and it was just, I think one of the most appealing things about it to me was the fact that it was just about socialization and having fun. And I just, that really appealed to me. So I reached out to them, and that's when COVID hit. And so they ceased meeting during the COVID time. So I'm going to have to reach back out to them because they sound like a hoot to join as well.
Right.
I had looked into that once here. Yes, they are a hoot. They are a lot of laughter and fun. Much, much fun. There's another society. I don't know if you've contacted them, Suzanne. It's called the Textile Workers.
No, I haven't, but thank you.
Oh my gosh, you need to talk with Mrs. Brown. That's another good one. Textile Workers is a great one. I'll shoot you some of the ones that we know that you might not have touched base with. Suzanne, I was looking at your Zooms the other day, and Davina and I were commenting on them this morning. And Jan Jean-Pierre is our webmaster. And I said, Davina, this is Jan on here. So now we're talking to Jan about the website. And Davina said, we see you on the TMCC YouTube. And she said, where? And I said, apparently you were on as one of the participants for the New York Genealogical Society.
She was all smiles.
And that thrilled her to death. And it showed her in her DAR, all of her DAR pins and everything. And then it showed her with farmers. And then she went in and was talking about the newest society at that time. And it was farmers. And it was quite delightful. And so I've learned a lot from your YouTubes. Thank you, Suzanne, for making that available to us. Very informative, very, very informative.
Well, thank you. And please help us spread the word, because every time somebody clicks on those YouTube videos, it helps support our program.
I wanted to ask you, is that acceptable for us to promote you through that for our members?
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate that.
Great. Well, we will get that. If you want to write me a little one paragraph, we'll send that out immediately to our 1,401 members.
You got my word on that. I will shoot it out to you. Okay, hold on. I'm writing myself
we'll
a note
post
right
it.
now.
And we'll post it on all of our Facebook pages also.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Facebook. Okay, got my
Sure. Yeah, happy to do that. Very happy to do that.
web page. Okay, I will do that today. Okay, and then also I wanted to make one last comment. If nobody else had any questions, I wanted to make one last comment. One of the things I really like about your organization, especially in reference to pins, is how there is no hierarchy of how you have to put the pins on the ribbon. Because every time I get a new DAR pin, I have to adjust all my pins.
Yes.
That is right. That is right. No, it's been very difficult teaching our members. You do not have to be exactly the same as Renee. You don't have to be exactly the same as John Doe. Do your pins any way you want, and it's very hard for them to break out of that. But they have such fun. And now I love it when I see somebody when we're in different states, and they will actually have their pins on when they're coming from a meeting. And one person said, "Oh, you have to cover up your pins." And I said, "No, we're farmers. We can wear our pins anywhere.
Proud of them.
I wear my pins to the grocery store." And wearing my pins to Starbucks gets people, "What is that? What is that?" And so it's
Oh, I'll talk about the magnet. We have a magnet on the car, and it's just our logo. And we were stopped at a red light, and this woman at the car next to us was motioning with her arms, and she was just having a fit. And Genesu said, "Well, I'm going to roll the window down," because Genesu was in the passenger seat. So she rolled the window down. The woman had her window down, and the light is turning green. And the woman is yelling at us, "I love American farmers. I love American farmers." I mean, it was sweet. It was really sweet.
It was.
Mhm.
We get a lot of comments about our tags, our magnets on our doors. And if anybody wants to know where to purchase reasonable magnets for the doors, I don't get a kickback on this. So it's called Magnets on the Cheap, CHEAP. So when they're on sale, we get them 50% off. And so we end up paying for a 12 by 18 magnet. They're beautiful and they're nice and thick.
Mhm.
We end up paying $6 each. And I wait until it's free postage. So we order for our ambassadors, 2 of them. And our investment is approximately $12. And it's pleased them, it's pleased us, and it gives us free advertising. So Suzanne, you might want to keep that name, Magnets on the Cheap.
Well, thank you. We're always looking for ways to discount things.
Yes, absolutely.
Genealogy can be very expensive. We all know.
Yes, absolutely.
And they work. We haven't lost one.
And
Surprising.
we've had them,
A while.
since 2019. We've had them.
Mhm.
Magnetsonthecheap.com.
Thank you. It just appeared in the chat box. Thank you.
Yes, I just put it on. It's a
That's
terrible word name for it, but it's true, and they're magnificent. They work.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just got off 3 double shifts, so I have to move along.
Glenn,
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
But
Again,
thank you
Glenn.
everyone for showing up and sticking around. And hopefully Davina will see your applications coming through shortly, like
Yes, yes.
by sundown, and we'll welcome you to the society.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Glenn.
Glenn. Thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone.
Bye, Glenn.
Bye, Glenn.
He's
Bye.
always, Glenn is such a delightful gentleman.
I am.
Oh, he's still here.
Glenn.
Okay,
here.
now
Don't
I'll
forget
leave. I had to make sure.
Now
He's still
Didn't
here.
talk-
Now, we can't talk about until he hangs up.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Yes.
Okay,
Bye,
get ready
Glenn.
to talk smack.
So
And
we were truly, all of our members, we're just blessed by getting our members. And Glenn came on, I do believe it was because of Facebook. And I will always say this, we are successful. We were beginning to be successful because of God and Facebook. And I attribute all of it to a God thing and then to Facebook. So it's one of those things. It's like when I said about the membership, it's one of these heart things. To be a member, you have to have this feeling about American farmers, and it makes a difference to you to honor your American farmer ancestor when they have been close to you. You might not have always known them, but your parents probably did. And so that makes it closer to us. That's one of the things that Davina says. We can relate more to those ancestors.
You know how I heard about your organization was through a Facebook page on pins, where it's a pin discussion board.
Yes.
That's how I heard about it.
Lineage Swag is another one that we're on a lot. People will post. But
Yeah,
I know
I've
my,
heard that one too.
yeah, you'll see us on there. You'll see people post their stuff. I know.
Suzanne, Suzanne,
Yes.
turn your camera on.
Oh, yeah.
And please, okay, that way we've got all of us. Okay, good.
I know from my experience, I have had I'm working on a line, one of my Willinghams that I have a little bit of trouble to DAR standards, you know, that famous qualifier.
Right.
And so I know who he is, and I know he is my 5th grade grandfather. Anyway, long story short, he was my first ancestor that I put into farmers because I was just chomping at the bit to be able to recognize him somehow, some way. And it was important to me. And so he is very affectionately my first one of several now that I have in the society. And it was because, you know, kind of how hard and how high we have to jump with DAR, because I'm the state registrar for Tennessee. And I know how difficult it is. And that's where I was prior today to coming in, was I was meeting with people for that. And so it's awesome because farmers, you just need, a couple things and you can prove. And we're not stingy in any of that. We encourage you. So I love that.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Suzanne. You are
Oh, no, thank
absolutely
you.
delightful, as well as, no, I don't believe, in fact, I spoke with one of the head people in that has a lot of the hereditary societies in Washington, D.C., and they do not anticipate the date ever be to increase past 1914. They said that that was almost like an act of God when they went from 1900 to 1914. So I asked her, I said, do you give me a glimpse? Do you think it'll ever go to, 1917, 1920? She said, never, 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 never. So not in this lifetime anyway.
Well, the old saying, never say never.
That's right.
True.
That's right. Don't blink.
True.
Don't, it will be. We've had a lot of fun with farmers, and we've met so many lovely, phenomenal people that we actually call friends, because you do become friends of ours. We invite, when you join, we give you our home phone number, and we welcome anybody to call us on the phone. And they do, and they do sometimes at 11 o'clock at night, but that's all right. But we love to visit with our farm members.
Okay, I want to give the class one last chance to ask questions. Is there any questions for our guest? Okay, well then I guess you've answered all the questions, and I cannot say thank you enough for presenting today and sharing your knowledge about your society. And I encourage everyone who does have a farming ancestor to join. It's certainly a worthy cause. And also wanted to say thank you to all four of you for allowing us to record today. That was very, very nice of you, and I appreciate that. And before I say goodbye, I just want to remind everyone, if there is a second part to class, once our guest speakers are done, I invite you all to stay. And if you're going to be leaving us at this point in time, I understand. If you have a work or another commitment, we understand. If you are going to leave us at this point in time, if there's anything in the chat box that you want, make sure to download the chat box before you leave, because once you leave and you log back in, the chat box will be empty. So please grab it now.
I'm trying to save it right now. Yeah, got it in the folder. Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Thank you,
Okay.
Suzanne.
Thank
This
you
is
so
much.
wonderful,
We might-
wonderful being here.
We might stay on for just a few minutes.
Oh, sure. You're more than welcome to. So with that, I'll just go ahead and I'll stop the recording at this point in time. And anybody who'd like to stay, please turn on your cameras and microphones, and we'll start again in just a few moments.
Thank you, Suzanne. Happy day.